Hello and welcome to Forever Rugby on Fair Sports. And the Bulls have claimed the 2020 Carling Currie Cup after beating the Sharks 26-19 after extra time. An incredible match which just never ended. I mean, it almost took 3 hours from kickoff to actually get to the end because of lightning break and then the game going to extra time. An incredible game. And I think a game where the Sharks will look back and be frustrated because I think that they probably played the better rugby and had opportunities to win the game. But before we break down the game itself, please do subscribe to the channel, smash like on the video as well. Right, so early stages, the Sharks won an early penalty and Currie Bosch lost a very good kick, and suddenly it looked like Currie Bosch was settled and this was going to be his day to try to stake a claim. However, it all kind of fell apart for Currie Bosch and he missed a lot of kicks. And I think, if he had just gotten his kicks, the Sharks actually would have won. So look, I mean, you can never lay the blame on a single player, but he will look at the fact that he missed about half his kicks, and I think a lot of them he should have gotten. Which is what it came down to in the end. And look, the Bulls did have an opportunity in the final minute of regular time with Chris Smith, who had just come on to try and win the game then, and he missed it, which gave the Sharks a second opportunity. But at the end of the day, the Sharks just weren't good enough, or just made the wrong calls. A couple of poor decisions. They had an opportunity to take points late in the game, which they turned down. And I think if they go back and if they'd taken the points there, they probably would have won the game and won the tournament. So a massive learning curve for Lukhanyo Am as captain and for a Sharks side, which has come in leaps and bounds in the last sort of year. And I think that while Sean Everett was saying that it wasn't about winning the trophy, I think that they'll be quite frustrated that they actually didn't end up winning because they had everything they needed to win the game. But if you look at some of the stats, which shows you how close it was 19-19 at full time. So you look at some of the stats: 59 possession Bulls to 41 possession Sharks. It was a lot more even. The Bulls sort of grew in the second half as it went by. Bulls scored 2 tries. Arno Botha, the try scorer for both of them, came off the bench, and what an impact he had. Spiro Corsi scored a brilliant try in towards the end of the first half, right at the end of the first half. Which again was come down to a mistake where Currie Bosch actually missed the penalty, and then Morné Steyn missed the 22-meter dropout as a result, and then the Sharks moved back to, the 22 dropout went into touch, which gave the Sharks a scrum on the 22-meter, and a beautiful worked move. Jaden Hendricks threw to Ape Lefassi, who came from the back to the side, Spiro Corsi, and he finished brilliantly. 3 clean breaks by the Bulls to the 1 for the Sharks, and then 21 turnovers conceded by the Bulls, 20 by the Sharks. In terms of defense, the Bulls made 50 tackles to the Sharks 97. You've got to applaud the Sharks' defensive effort because they were very good. They missed 24 tackles there, and I think that a couple of the tackles were fairly telling. But I think it doesn't quite do it justice to really harp on about the defense because I think that they were fairly solid. The Bulls missed just 10 tackles. They only asked to make 50, almost half that of the Sharks. And the Bulls won 6 turnovers to the Sharks, winning 7. At the breakdown, the Bulls won 55% of their rucks to the Sharks 38, and they won 5 mauls to the Sharks 7. And in terms of set plays, the Sharks lost 5 lineouts. That was a very big poor area. The Sharks couldn't win their lineout, and that was always going to be the thing. The Bulls were always going to target set pieces. They didn't win a single line. They didn't lose a single lineout, and they lost just 1 scrum. The Sharks didn't win a scrum, but did concede a few penalties. And then the Bulls won all 8 of their lineouts. And in terms of discipline, 15 penalties conceded by the Bulls to 14 of the Sharks. So it's fairly even across the board in terms of the stats. And I think that the game, as you said, it went into extra time. The game was very even. But a couple of standout performances. If you're looking at the Bulls, I thought that once again, Cornwall Hendricks was very impressive. Ivan van Zyl controlled the game pretty well. Ulrich Lowe carried the ball up very nicely. And then Arno Botha made a big impact when he came on. But yeah, so if you look at some of the performances here, somebody like Cornwall Hendricks, he made 9 carries, making 22 meters in the process. He beat 5 defenders and had 1 clean break. Morné Steyn scored 11 points, Bosch is 14. For the Bulls, for the Sharks, I thought Spiro Corsi tried quite hard. I thought Lukhanyo Am was very good on defense. The loose trio was quite good in defense. Sikamoza Noche had some very good moments. It was a nice matchup. Duane Vermeulen, though, was a standout. And there was a moment where, just before the Bulls scored their first try, where they were struggling to find some momentum, struggling to find some go-forward ball. And he said, and he told Mbose Pierre to just wait, hang on. And he basically formed a maul, and he got the ball, turned around, and a couple of players lashed on him, and they created a maul, which eventually won them a penalty. They came back, he took the penalty himself as a quick tap, took the ball up, and then Arno Botha eventually went over. So, having that experience, having the class of Duane Vermeulen was paramount for the Bulls. And if you look at some of the defensive efforts, Marco van Staden made 8 tackles, missing just 1. In terms of the Sharks, a lot of very impressive efforts in tackling. Ruben van Heerden made 8, Dylan Richardson made 9, Jalpenke made 9, Lekanya Am made 9. Jalpenke also missed 4, so he probably wants to get that up. But Thomas Toy, 3 turnovers and 5 tries. Went off towards the end with a knock to his head, which doesn't look great, but it was very impressive from him. And he was asked to play a very long game, because I think that Sean Everett was quite worried about Michael Kumbarai come scrum time. But in terms of other defensive efforts from the Bulls, Albert Lowe made 5 tackles, Ruan Nokia made 6. Sutu Banjezi was a menace at line-out time. He put a lot of pressure on the Sharks line-out. But it was just very good rugby, you know, where both sides had their opportunities. And the end of the day, the Bulls took theirs probably better than the Sharks did. And it's a big learning curve. But what is, I think, fair is that if you look over the last 12 months, these have been the 2 best sides in the country. And whilst the Sharks were fantastic during Super Rugby last season, you can definitely, I mean, you can't really argue that the Bulls weren't the favourites and weren't the more deserving of the sides. So at the end of the day, it was good rugby, and it's something that we've been waiting for all tournament to see a decent calibre of rugby. And I think we did see it today. I was very impressed with the quality of rugby. Maybe the decision making, I mean, in terms of the kicking, not so much, but everything else was very impressive. Some nice scrum battles, some nice line-out battles, a couple of good runs, some very nice tackling. I don't think it was actually that bad as an overall product, and made for a very, very good watch. So congratulations to Bulls fans and to somebody like Jan, who's been following the channel for a long time. Enjoy the celebrations. To the Sharks fans, people like Darren, unfortunately not quite your day, but the Sharks are looking very good. And as we move to the Rainbow Cup, I think the Sharks will definitely be a side to look out for. Thank you very much for watching. Let me know what you thought of the game in the comments below. My name is Steven, and I'll chat to you very, very soon.